Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to day one of your sneak peek. Today I just want to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Candace Petrosian, and I have been a Beachbody coach for just over a year. I have ranked Diamond, I have hit Success Club All-Star, so Success Club 5 All-Star, and Success Club 10 All-Star. So I started my journey last year, even though technically I started trying to get back in shape after my daughter quite a few years ago. I had always been a relatively healthy person and worked out all of the time when I was living in Vegas. I grew up in Michigan, moved out to Vegas to become a teacher, to work as an elementary school teacher, and then I had gotten pregnant. During my pregnancy, I tried to stay, doing yoga and walking and being active, and I watched what I ate. Despite all of that, I still gained 80 pounds through my pregnancy, and the last time I weighed myself, I think I was like 210 pounds before I had given birth. After birth, first of all, I wanted to have my daughter all natural, and that didn't happen. Despite all efforts, I ended up having to have a C-section, which depressed me because that's not what I wanted. Then after birth, my goal was to breastfeed her for the first year of her life, and that didn't go according to plan either. I couldn't produce enough, which ultimately made me even more depressed. I really feel like I probably had postpartum. I did not get support from my husband that I had needed. He was supposed to deploy and didn't, and so he started doing his own thing and was just not around. I didn't really know what to do. I love my daughter. I loved my daughter at that point, and but I was very unhappy. I was miserable, and the more that time went on, it's like the fat was eating at my soul. It was making me turn into somebody who was no longer herself. I've completely changed during that point in my life. And so I needed to do something. So I had quite a few friends, and including my parents, who helped try to get me to work out. So I started going for walks. At this point, I was probably like 180 pounds. And so I tried going for walks. My parents would watch my daughter while I went and tried to go to the gym a couple days a week. But I hated it. I hated the time away, because even if I worked out at the gym for an hour, there was still drive time. It still took away. And I just didn't ever want to leave my child. It was like this mindset that I had that I just couldn't give up my time with her to take care of myself. And that's not the right mindset to have, but I had it. And so ultimately, my marriage just got worse, and we ended up splitting. So I moved home with my parents, and at that point, I knew I finally had to make a change. So last summer, 2 summers ago, a couple of my friends had got me to start doing Zumba and start going to a studio and doing boxing and all that stuff. And it seemed like no matter how hard I tried doing those things, even though they were fun, I still didn't want to put Arya in child watch. I still didn't want to spend all that time. I still felt like it was just so much time away. So I had only gotten down like to 170. And then the school year started, and I had no self-control. I saw donuts, I ate them. Kids brought in cupcakes, I ate them. So by the end of the school year last year, 2015, I was almost at 180 again. I had worked that summer so hard trying to get down to the 170 that I was at, that I just gained it through eating all the way back. So it was like high 170s. I had been following my coach for about a year when I decided, okay, I'm going to try this at-home program thing because leaving's not working. I had been a healthy eater before and I knew what to do, but for some reason, nothing was sticking. I couldn't do it. I had no self-control. So last summer, I bought the program. I bought 21 Day Fix with Shakeology. And within 4 months, I lost over 30 pounds, almost 40 pounds. And I felt amazing. And I just couldn't believe it. I didn't feel deprived. I loved the Shakeology. I thought it tasted amazing. 30 minutes to work out wasn't difficult because I could do it while Aria was napping or, when she went to bed, before she got up in the morning. I had chose to start a morning routine. So I was doing it in the morning because of work. I knew once the school year started that I needed to ultimately work out before work because I knew after work, once I got Aria from preschool, I was not going to want to worry about working out. And because that was always an excuse. No time. No time was my number one excuse. I didn't want to take time away from Aria. I didn't have the time. I always made these things. I have to grade papers. I have to do this. There's no time. So I eliminated that and I created time by waking up earlier. And it was hard, very hard. Going from waking up and working out at 8 a.m. to now the school year starts, so I have to wake up early at like 4 a.m. That was a huge change. And thinking about planning meals as well, because now I was going to be up for an extended amount of time, that was challenging too. It took about 2 weeks before I really got the hang of it. But because I didn't give up and I kept going and trying, I eventually got it. I found my routine and I have not stopped since then. Coaching made that happen for me. Coaching is what made me keep going. I get a lot of people saying, I wish I had the motivation you had. I wish I had the energy you had. You guys, I'm here to tell you that I'm not some robot. I am not different than any one of you. Okay? I was never a morning person. I always said I didn't have time. Everything. I've tried every diet pill. I've done every gimmick. This is what worked. Becoming a coach and having the responsibility of showing other people how to make it work and inspiring them and wanting them to join you and wanting to help make this world healthier, that's what kept me going. That's my motivation. This is my motivation. I don't wake up saying, ooh, I just don't want that piece of cake and I don't want that ice cream. I want those things. Are you crazy? Those things are delicious to me. But I'm going to be real. When I look at them, I think, is it worth going back to where I was? Is it worth not having energy? Is it worth feeling like crap? Is it worth having to buy new clothes that are bigger sizes? Is it worth not being able to play with my daughter? And it's just not. My health is taking care of myself, investing in myself, ultimately changed my entire life. This has been a life-changing opportunity because I got my health back. I got so much energy and liveliness back to play with my daughter and to be a better mom. I'm happier. I'm more positive. I've, built better relationships with my ex, with friends, with my family. It's like this huge peace, an inner peace that has truly came over my life to where I can overcome anything. I can handle any change, any obstacle with grace and dignity and not have any regrets. And I honestly think that if I would have never signed as a coach and just bought the program, I would have stumbled. I probably would have finished it, but I would have stumbled a lot more. Having that extra accountability of needing to be a leader, I stepped up to it. So, I encourage people who really want to make this lifestyle change and create, a better life, not just physically, but even just mentally. I encourage becoming a coach because It does. It really makes you, just your whole mindset become more positive and better. So that's a little bit about myself. Feel free to share anything about yourself. You can post a video, or you can just leave a, in a post or comment a little bit about yourself. I'll be posting a video a day sharing information about coaching and what I do, and how to make this a successful business. So stay tuned.